casual conversation with your friends.
My name is Luis Enrique Gomez Cruz. I'm from San Jose. I'm 25 years old. I work here in Surf Simply. It's a resort or a surf school here in Nosara, Costa Rica. My role here is kind of like a kitchen manager or sous chef, a mix between two of the two roles. I feel really happy to work here.
How long have you been here?
I guess like 7 years.
Wow. So how old is the surf school?
It's like 12 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So have you always done this role here, or what? How did you start
No,
out?
I started here as dishwasher and helper.
Okay,
a
like assistant. Yeah.
assistant,
Yeah.
cooking assistant. Yeah.
So then you started as a dishwasher, slowly moved into being assistant cook. So now was cooking something that you always wanted to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, since I was a kid.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my grandma used to take care of me while my parents were at work. She was a pretty nice lady who likes to be around the kitchen all the time,
Yeah.
cooking and making everyone's happy with her goodies.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I started my love for the kitchen and the food. She was doing picadillos and soups and tortillas, and I was there trying to being annoying to learn everything. She started teaching me. Then after that, I started study. I quit high school. My mom was like, "Okay, you need to find something to do. You are not going to be skating all around all the time. You need to work." I started working with my cousin. He has a fast food restaurant and
Where was this, in San Jose?
in San Jose. I learned a lot with him, but I was bored of just cooking hamburgers and fried chicken, all that stuff. I started looking for another option. Found Argentine place. Yeah, they make really cool empanadas. It was a coffee shop. They used to make like pastas and milanesas and all that stuff.
So you got to learn a whole different
Exactly.
palette.
Exactly. I was working there in that coffee shop. I learned a lot. And actually, I used to have two works because I didn't quit with my cousin.
Yeah.
So I worked in the afternoons in these coffee shops and then at night in the restaurant with my cousin. I don't know. I wanted something else. I was boring. I get bored with my work, so I like to change. One day, my friend bring me here to Nosara with my brother. It was just a vacation trip. That's it. I was working in the two jobs. I don't know. She asked me like, "Man, if I help you find a job in here, would you like to work in Nosara?" And I was like, "No, I don't think so. You guys work with seasons, and I need to have work all year. Pretty difficult." Then she told me like, "Well, if you stay here, maybe you can get a surfboard and learn how to surf." And I was like, I mean,
Oh. So you had never surfed before?
no.
Oh,
no,
wow.
No, never, never.
What a great incentive.
Yeah, exactly. I called my cousin and said, "Man, I think I'm not going back. Sorry."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, I'm really happy because you're going to meet a lot of people to learn a lot of new things." But when I call this Argentine guy, he gets mad.
Oh,
He's
no.
really pissed off. He started yelling at me and a lot of stuff. And I was like, "Man, okay, I found a job. I can make anything else. So thank you. That's it.
Yeah.
Bye."
And you know, the unfortunate part is he was probably upset because he's losing someone really good.
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
Yeah.
So was Pura Pizza the first place that you ended up working here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah.
first work. This friend who asked me about to stay here, she helped me go and look for different job interviews. So I went to Olas Verdes, I guess, I think Basilico and Pura Pizza. In the first two, they say no, we don't need no one. The third, that is Pura Pizza, they say like, "Yeah, why not? Tomorrow, 11, we're gonna test you."
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. When I get there, Pura Pizza, it was like 6 months old. There was not that much people than now, but since I started working there, I met a lot of people from the skate park, and they start going there, just talk, having a beer, getting a slice, talking with me or the owners, Massimo and Laura. Working there, it was amazing for me. It was really tired because it's a really currently place. Like everyone goes, like all the people around town goes there.
Yeah. So your interview was to cook for all these people, and you had never been formally trained as a chef.
Exactly.
So what did you decide to do?
While I was working with Pura Pizza, Laura is one of the owners. She is a really good chef too. She told me how to make fresh pasta, fresh gnocchis, and a lot of stuff. So I decided to make fresh gnocchis for them, like with a blue cheese and bacon sauce, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds
And
heavenly.
portobello mushrooms. Portobello mushrooms, yeah, that was incredible.
Wow.
For the salad, really good.
Yeah.
It goes really good. Yeah, with Dennis and Jajo. I was afraid because they told me that I need to cook for one of the owners, but no, it was just Dennis and Jajo.
Yeah.
Not better, but not that stressful.
But they wanted to make sure that you felt the pressure.
Exactly. And one of the things that makes me really curious about that, and for the last test, they told me like, man, you got to cook 2 eggs, 1 scrambled egg and white fried egg. I want you to show me how you cook your eggs. And I was like, why eggs? And I cooked the fried egg. I really love fried egg with the runny joel.
Yeah.
And so that was perfect. But in Costa Rica, when you do scrambled eggs, you don't add milk. You just use the eggs.
Okay.
And you cook it really well. Like it's well done. So I cook like that way. And they told me like, man, the fried egg is awesome. And yeah, it's my favorite egg. But the scrambled egg is awful. Like, we need you to teach you how to cook a proper scrambled egg.
I like it fully cooked through.
I really like running eggs, so
Yeah.
I really love scrambled egg the way North America used to cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you realize, oh, okay, maybe there is something I need to learn.
Yeah.
So then did they decide to hire you after that?
Yeah, they went to the back of house. Actually, it was in the old resort, and they start talking. I couldn't hear anything. And then after like, I don't know, 15 minutes, they show up and tell me like, well, we want you in your team. In that moment, I didn't cry. But when I get to my home, I start crying. Like, I didn't expect that. I accept the interview just because I was tired of Pura Pizza.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that it was made through there, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. But actually, everything goes super good.
So now it's been 7 years that you've been with Surf Simply.
No,
Oh.
it's been 4 years.
4 years,
I
sorry.
guess. Yeah.
So 4 years you've been with Surf Simply, and so you've obviously seen the changes that have happened here. So when you started at Surf Simply, you mentioned that you were assisting with everything. So how did you transition from that into what you're doing now?
Well, that's crazy. I started learning a lot from Jajo and from Dennis here, so I've been really comfortable with that work, doing everything here. I know how this kitchen works perfectly. After 2 years and a half, something like that, COVID hits and all that crazy pandemic stuff. Then Jajo decided he wants to make his own thing. So actually, the job I'm making now, it was his job. He decided to leave. So that's how I get this job, but the new position, because he left. They need someone, and they were like, "Well, you know how this kitchen works, so let's do it. Make it work."
A little bit surreal that you've gone in the matter of like a few years from a line cook at a fast food restaurant to now running a kitchen
Yeah,
at a big resort.
yeah,
So your family must be proud.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of me. Actually, I'm really proud of. I can get to another level, but I feel really comfortable where I am right now. And I got a lot of projects that I want to make here in Nosara. So I want to stay here a couple of years more.
Does this position allow you to express your creativity in food?
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
a lot. That's what I love from Super Simply, that I can try whatever I want. I can change or move. Obviously, Dennis is the
Like the head chef?
production. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is the head chef. He is the guy who makes all the recipes that are in here are from him. You just need to talk with him. We just talk with everyone in the kitchen and make something really nice. The creativity here blows your mind.
That's amazing. You had mentioned that Surf Simply, it's a resort that you have 2-week blocks that people generally come for, or
It's
1
1
week,
week, yeah.
1 week blocks. So it's sort of private. How does it work here?
So 1 week trip. So you start on Saturdays with a dinner. Harry is one of the owners. He welcomes you here with all the group. So you introduce to the other people in the team. Like
Yeah.
most of the times it's around 12 or 15 people per group. You say what do you want, what do you expect of the school, what are your goals, and then starting from there, they take you twice surfing with a lot of people who records you and take photo of you. Then when you go back to the resort, you get breakfast. Then
You're catering specifically to that group, right? So
Yeah.
like the menu changes each week, like with different people? Or?
no, we used to change the menu like 3 months, but now we are taking 4 or 5 menus that
Okay.
are set right now.
If a group, let's say, for example, has allergies or they prefer a vegan menu, can you do that?
Yeah, they give us the dietary requirements from a week in advance, so we accommodate to those dietaries.
Yeah.
Usually, if you stay 2 weeks, we got different menus, so you don't get the same food. Yeah.
So you've seen now over the last 7 years that you've been in Nosara that things have evolved and changed so much.
But,
What do you think about that?
well, the food industry here grows super fast. When I first came here 7 years ago, there was a bunch of restaurants. Now there's a bunch more. Like the last thing I want to open in Nosara is a restaurant because there's a lot of good places. Food industry is crazy here because everyone's want to show up what you can do
Yeah.
in food terms.
It is like a foodie oasis here. What's really interesting that I found here is that it's not just one type of food either.
Yeah, I think that's because there's a lot of people who came here. They decide to stay here and they were like, okay, I want to show the cuisine of my country
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And I see everyone's with a place for Japanese food, Argentine food, Italian food. So I don't know, I want to show my Japanese part or my Indian part. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think that's why Nosara is becoming a foodie place because it's so easy to get in love with this place that you just want to find a reason to stay here.
Yeah.
Like, okay, open a place to show the cuisine to this town.
What do you think about that? Being Costa Rican, how do you feel about all these different flavors and new cultures sort of mixing in with Costa Rican food?
Actually, I didn't think about that. Since now that you ask. But you know what's really interesting? Gallo Pinto is one of the traditional dish from Costa Rica. So there's a bunch of stories of how Gallo Pinto gets to here. One I really like, they say when the first train set here in Costa Rica, they bring a bunch of people all over the world who work in this train to build that
To
stuff.
build the train tracks.
The
like
train
shit.
tracks,
Yeah.
exactly. They say that there was how the Gallo Pinto started. Like everyone brings some rice and beans and stuff, so start mixing it.
Oh, I
there's-
love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one of the stories. There's a bunch of stories. I don't know which one is the truth,
Yeah.
but that's the one I really like because it sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
So there's Gallo Pinto all over Central America,
Mm-hmm.
like Guatemala, Nicaragua, Salvador, Panama, and everyone says that Gallo Pinto is from there. So I think that much people coming here and settle this cuisine, it's going to end up something like that, you know, like creating mixed dishes
Yeah.
from here, like
Yeah.
a mixed cuisine
Yeah.
from all over the place.
Well,
Yeah.
so for example, something that I love is arroz con pollo. And yet, and
Me
I
too.
try to order that like everywhere I go. But it's interesting because it's stir fry rice with chicken.
Exactly.
And it can taste so different in
Yeah.
so many different ways. But the Costa Rican arroz con pollo is just so different from everything else. So you're right, like it's the mixing of all the cultures to make this dish that each culture wants to say is from them.
It's from them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's so different.
It's so different, yeah. You can taste it. And actually, Gallo Pinto here in Costa Rica, if you go to different places, they will prepare it in a different way. Like here, there's a little fight between everyone in this resort because some people say like, okay, when I'm going to make Gallo Pinto, start frying the rice first, and then we add vegetables and the beans. that's from San Jose.
Okay.
But here in Guanacaste, they start with the beans. They start cooking all the vegetables, frying it with some butter, and then they throw the vegetables, then the beans, mix it up, give some flavor, and at the end add the rice. And they like to leave it like a little moist.
Okay.
So that's the difference between one place to other of the gallo pinto here in the same country.
In the same, and then on the Caribbean side, I think they add coconut milk too.
Yeah, exactly. In the Caribbean side, they do a whole different dish. They beans with coconut milk, and then they use that same broth to make the rice, and then they use coconut milk to make the gallo pinto or the rice and beans. It's not the same because on the Caribbean side, if you call gallo pinto to rice and beans, they will be pissed off. For real.
And with you personally, what do you think?
Well, for me, I don't know. It could happen a lot of stuff. One of the things I really want to do is to travel to Asia and learn the cuisine there from different parts, not just from Japan, but I would like to go to Singapore or to Korea. There's a lot of like mercados, food trucks and that stuff. So I want to go there for sure. That's one of my plans. For the food here, it's really cool that there's a lot of people who want to come here and settle this cuisine. But I think if this place start getting that much people who wants to make restaurants and that stuff, I think it's not going to work.
Do you think it needs to go back to the traditional foods?
It's not because of that, more because there's a bunch of restaurants and there's not a lot of people, a lot of money for everyone. You know? Like,
what is exciting for you right now? Like, what is it that you're, you know, like a few years ago, the gastronomy scene popped up where they were doing
molecular.
Yeah, the molecular gastronomy. And they were doing that, and then next thing, who knows what's going to come next? Like, what are you excited about? What do you think?
Well, what I'm looking for my food, for my cooking, is like when you give that first bite to make you go back to a really good memory. You know, I really like fancy food and fancy dishes and fancy names for the food, but what I really like on food is that you get a bite, and even it's a whole new dish for you, you get a bite and it takes you back to that home comfort, like makes you feel happy and I don't know, like spoiled and soulful.
We were on the Caribbean side 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
We went to La Nena, and Craig was eating some Caribbean chicken, and he was so happy. First of all, we went back 2 nights in a row because the Caribbean chicken was amazing, and the gallo pinto, and it was like running down his shirt. He was so happy, and it's because it took him back. Like it was like this memory. So that I understand 100%. That feeling of going, just taking you back. And you're right. You can make the fancy food, you can make all that stuff, but it seems to be the basic staple foods are the ones that does that.
It's like what everyone wants to make right now. Really fancy food, really fancy ingredients, really fancy presentations. But I really like from food. That's why I want to travel to different places, because I want to learn from the people. You know, I want to give you that feeling, to take you back somewhere you are happy, some memory that makes you feel really happy. That's what I want to food.
To bring you back to your grandmother's kitchen.
Exactly, because there's where I learn. So I want everyone to feel what I feel when I cook. Not just to, oh yeah, these are really cool. Oh wow, how this guy do this. No, I want you to feel that home comfort, that love in the food.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Do you think what you learned there you might bring back? I don't know, maybe I'm asking a question that, because you didn't know you would leave San Jose.
Well, for sure I want to go back to Nosara. Like, I want to buy a piece of land and to build a house after living here, and then I would love to come here and do my retirement, because if you ask me to think about a place that I want to retire, I would say Costa Rica for sure. Like my country is the place I want to be. Yeah, for sure. I want to go around the world, learn a lot of cultures, cuisines, and then go back and to cook here, mixing it everything what I learned around the world.
Well, you're always welcome to come to Canada if you think there might be something exciting for you to try there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Oh, this is really good. I really, really appreciate this, and I'm excited for your evolution. I can't wait. You're only 25 years old. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me either. I'm really excited about.
Thanks so much. This has
welcome.
been really, really wonderful. This is exactly what we were hoping for.
Thank
Yeah.
you. This is the first time I did something like this. So
But you're interesting. Like this is a very. I'm always fascinated by people who just evolve and change and just and then find their passion. Like that's hard at 25 to be able to find your passion. But you're a very lucky man.
yeah.
You're a very lucky
I heard
man.
a lot. I heard that part of that thing a lot. Actually, I found two passions in here in Nosara. That's why this place is super special to me.
Yeah.
Because even local people tell me that I can't say that I'm local because I'm from San Jose. But actually, I feel kind of local that I'm from here because this place bring me that special thing. That one of my passions that I discovered here was surfing. I need to surf. Like I need to surf every day.
Were you a skateboard punk when you were growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, moms and dads everywhere, they can grow up and be respectful members of society.
Exactly.
So there you go. You learned. Was Nosara the first time you ever saw the ocean?
No. It wasn't the first time, but it was the first time I touched a surfboard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I discovered that passion.
I think this is excellent. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with your evolution. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we meet again.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Meet again in 5 years, and you'll have your own place and your own.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
serving up Asian fusion with Costa Rican with gallo pinto.
Yeah, I would love to.
Thank you so much. This is exactly what we were looking for. Just a
Yeah.
conversation. We just want to get to know you and get to know where you came from and where you think you're going.
Yeah.
But you never know where you're going because
No,
I mean,
actually.
again, you were working at a fast food restaurant in San Jose. You had no idea this was going to be your future. So.
No, even I.